Ooh, ooh.
What up, my guy?
What's up, people? We're back.
Oh, snap. It's those two
It's
dudes.
6 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my drop top. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? How's your day going?
Long, bro. It's long, but we good. We here. We're chilling. We're making it happen. That's all that matters. Um, it is a blessed day, though. Uh, I dropped off my car yesterday to get some unscheduled maintenance, and luckily it was funny. The guy was like, "Oh, like how's your day going?" Thank you. And uh and I said, "You know what, man, my day's going good." I said, Although I may be dropping off my car, the weather's nice. I got money to fix the car if it's broken, and I'm alive." And he was like, "I heard that." And so, but I did find out it was only, not only, it
No.
was actually a major maintenance thing, but it's covered by warranty.
Oh, that's good.
Hmm. You're about to say,
No, I wasn't gonna say nothing.
"What up?" Stephanie said, "What up?" Stephanie in the
Oh, what's up,
chat.
Stephanie?
Jamel in the chat.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome
Welcome
back. As we evolve this show, you guys, I got Chaz to approve for me to have sound effects.
Oh, Lord.
And by approve, I mean I'm doing it, and he said, "Oh God."
Uh,
As most of you guys know, I don't necessarily ask for a lot of approval, so I'm much more of a ask for forgiveness than permission person.
me- meanwhile, all day I'm sending Cam, projects in Notion. Hey, Cam, review this and give me your
I
feedback.
know.
Hey, Cam,
I've been
review.
I've been looking at it.
I start saying, screw that. I'm about to just like, approve.
I ain't gonna lie, I was wondering, I was like, I wonder how many of these things he's gonna send to me before he just finally says, "Hey y'all, just get it posted." I saw that Glenn commented though, so I was like, all right, G commented, so like, hey, if Glenn's way more crucial than I am, so if he says it's good, like, hey, we good, rock.
Facts. Facts. Like if I send it to G and G responds, I don't need to send it to nobody else.
No, you're good. You can consider that a joint approval.
So I approve. I will venture to say that since you said score, the U.S. is up 2-0. Is
I
that
don't
what
know.
you're trying to tell me?
Jamel, are we up, or are you just saying score is in like we made it here? I feel like it could honestly go either way.
Like I was literally just in the other room watching it, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should have a third screen up right here and like
Bro,
give
no,
live
you would
updates.
not be paying attention. Oh, I mean, I guess you could be giving live updates to the audience. I guess that's true. I don't know. You know me. Uh I'm not a big sports person.
Hey, I'll take on that role for you. I'll keep you updated.
I appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you being willing to do that for us. Um, so
Oh,
with that being said, um, guys, as we roll through this, we obviously want to get better and better for you guys, right? And so, um, you know, we'll hit you guys with the recap of last week. Okay, we got a lot of good feedback from last week, by the way. You know, uh, I would Chaz and I had a conversation. We were really excited about it, and like I talked to some people after who watched, and they were just like, "Bro, like the way that the information got broken down was like super good." So we're gonna continue that same thing, and we're gonna but first, before we start, we're gonna do like a mini recap of last week, right? And kind of some of the things that we've been talking about. So, um, first, big differences between Claude, chat, co-work, and code. Okay. I'm reiterating this because even some people who live with me need me require me to go over this multiple times. We about to say, Chaz. You got something to say?
No, no, no. I just, I have this kind of like theory, right?
Okay.
With Claude Code versus Cowork versus Terminal, right? And one of the things I really wanted to bring this week was like, think of it like this: Claude Chat is your thinking partner,
Yeah.
right? And then Claude Cowork, that's literally like an operator.
Yeah.
It literally can, operate a lot of things. And then Claude Code, um, I like to look at that as like the builder,
For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just my way of like determining which platform I'm use because I use all three of them.
You're that's why you're a good citizen. All right. Chaz uses all the pieces of the infrastructure. Me, I'm like, I want the most balls to the wall thing, and I'm gonna use it for everything, even cooking recipes.
Bro, I can even break it down. I can break it down even easier for you. Chat, think, co-work, delegate, and then code build.
Oh, you just cut out. Or was that me? Sorry, hold on. I wonder if
I
that
don't
was
know if
oh,
that
that
was
was just
me or
me
you.
because for some reason my computer likes to go to jump all of a sudden. Say that again. Sorry, for me, not for the audience.
Okay, for you, Cam, chat is is
You
think,
think you're
right?
okay.
Co-work, delegate,
Okay.
and then code build. That's like super simple.
That is super simple. But why not just use the builder for everything?
Well, so as we go on, I'll explain why I personally wouldn't use the builder, especially for a lot of our viewers, right? Because Cam, our viewers, like some of them might be, but I don't know if a lot of our viewers are where we are when it comes to using AI.
For sure.
And what I mean by that is like we're baby stepping right now. Pretty much anybody who's watching now is probably at their infant stage and they're like just dipping their feet in it. And so there's a reason why I really wanted to talk about all three of them and kind of break down because I know one of the things that we wanted to talk about today was like what are the differences between the different frameworks within, let's just, Anthropic and Claude, right?
Mhm.
Talking about the four different modalities, if you would, right? There's by the way, if you don't know, Fable 5 came back online today. Um,
We back, baby.
and look, I'm gonna tell you guys, unless you got a max plan, I would
Yeah.
not mess with Fable because you'll run through your tokens in
Yeah, don't
in
touch
in
it.
no time,
Just leave
right?
it. Just leave it.
Yeah, just leave it, right? But you can effectively use all four of the modes, right? What do we got? We got Haiku, what is it, 4.5, I think it is, and then we
Yeah,
got
Haiku
Sonnet,
4.5. They just came out with Sonnet 5, and then
Sonnet
we have
Opus Opus 4.8,
Opus
and then
4.8, and now Fable 5.
yes. And each one of them actually, so when you think about those different platforms and the utilization, right? They have a kind of like an input and output. Last week, Cam talked a little bit about the token burn as you're using them, right? And each one of them, I found this here when I was doing some research this past week about, token burn and things like that, right? So Anthropic uses a context window when it comes to their token burn, right? So Sonnet, Opus, and Fable all work in like $1 million token or a
Mhm.
million
Million
token
token range, yeah.
range, right? Whereas Haiku, which is very fast, very powerful, it literally hovers around the 200K, right? So uh, I know this probably is like nerding out for a lot of people, but I think it's important that you understand. And the reason why I say this is because if you're on that $20 plan, Haiku is going to be the best, model for you to use. Where it's still going to provide you a good bit of power. It's going to be a little bit faster, so it's not going to think very deep into the processes. But it's a great place to begin, and it's a great bang for the buck for the $20 plan.
See, guys, that's why. So Chaz is one of the most cost conscious people that I know. And that's why we're friends. Because me, I'm using Opus 4.8 for everything. Now, granted, I have a max plan. So listen to Chaz when he's telling you you want to know what the different models can do because they are meant to be used for different things and complexities, right? If it's something super simple, you don't want to use like Opus 4.8 because you'll burn through your tokens hella fast on a simple ass task. So we'll talk a little bit more about that like as we get more into it. But before we get into it, first I want to recognize um, the people who've showed up. So, first of all, Steph, what's up? A member of Elevare Global. Jamel, what's up? Member of Elevare Global. I'm Gressing. Oh yeah, Chris Westling, my dog. So Chaz, Chris and I actually talked this week, so we gotta potentially talk about him becoming a guest on the show about some of the things that he's got going on.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And then if anybody else is here, if you want us to shout you out, put your name in the chat. We'll by all means we'll give you guys a shout out, especially any of you who are from the Elavari Global community. Okay. And so as you guys know, this live stream and all the things that we do are for Elevare Global. That is our conglomerate of businesses. Chaz, Glenn, myself, Terry, we all came together and have formed the Super Squad. All right. We're actually going to do a dope commercial. Just wait for it. But with that being said, though, because we're all really good at the things that we do and we want to help people get better, we decided to join forces. And part of that is not only from a facilitator standpoint, as far as for businesses or companies, coming in, teaching, training, helping implement execution, but for the average person who may not be at that level yet, but wants to get there, we started the online community called Elevare Global. And that's where we're going to share our knowledge. That's where we're going to interact with you guys. We're going to give you challenges that help grow you. We do calls like this, but there are some very good specific calls that we only do with the online community. There's a group chat and there's an annual event that we curate as well. And so, what did I miss, Chaz? Did I miss anything?
That was everything, bro. Spot
Fucking
on.
nailed that shit, dog.
That was pretty
And so,
dope.
and so that's why Iron Cam, bro. As you guys see, I like to get my Tony Stark on. You feel me? Whoop whoop. And so, but if you're not a member, you should be a member. We have a 7-day free trial. You can hit me up, Chaz up, any of our other members. They'll be sure to like lock you guys in. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Cam, stop. Hold on a second. See,
what's up?
Cam ain't gonna do it, but I'm gonna tell you right now, like, join the community. 7 days free. It is the best $39 that you can spend. Sorry.
Facts.
I had to put the price out there.
It's
Like,
coast to coast.
absolutely. Matter of fact, I'm sitting in Florida, y'all.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, Chaz in Florida. Stephanie is in Illinois. I was like
Yeah.
mess with her when I say that.
Illinois.
Jamel's out in Oakland. Chris is it San Mateo or San Bernardino? He'll correct me in the chat. I know his brain won't allow that to roll. And so, if I was wrong. And so yeah, so last week, so we talked about the difference between um the different types, right? Chat, co-work, and code. Chaz gave you guys a super great breakdown. Chaz, hit them with the breakdown real quick one more time.
All right, here we go for one time for the people. All right. So chat is your thinker. Co-work is who you delegate to. And then code is what you're going to use to build.
Yep. And by I got it right. San Mateo. Hey yo, nailed it. And so yes, with that being and we'll break those down. Break those down a little bit more. And so yeah, I know. I'm a big old jerk. There's actually a song from the Bay Area that literally goes, "You're a jerk." Uh-huh. You're a jerk. And I used to dance to it in Korea with chess. And so and so those are the three different ones you could use, right? Um Now we talked about usage real quick. Very, very small. Tokens equals gas. You need gas to drive your car. You need you need tokens to drive your AI. And so the more things you're doing or the farther you're trying to go, you need more gas. Okay. So there are the different types of plans, which you can look up at the Anthropic website, but it's like $17, $100, and $200. For those of you who are new here, Chaz and I operate off the $200 one. However, comma, we give you guys tips to use your $20 version as best as possible. So we are not speaking at it from here. We are really trying to give you guys tangible things you can use at a beginner level when it comes to these things. Okay. Um, Big highlight from last week as well. Get on your computer. If you're not using your Claude on your computer, get it together. You have to. There is so much that you can do on the computer that you cannot do on your phone. William, Rochelle, what's up? Long time listener, first time caller. What's up? Um, Nice to see you. Thanks for coming. He says so frustrating when you run out, man. I have a rule with my clients. If you or my friends, if you run out of tokens 3 consecutive times in 1 week, just bite the bullet, bro, and upgrade. You don't have to go to the top. Me and Chaz are hella impatient, which is why like we went to the tippy top immediately. Like I tried, and then I told Chaz about it. And literally, like Chaz's like, I'm not even gonna try. Two honeys. And so um yep, Fable 5 is out. We were just talking about that as far as like, hey, if you're on a $20 plan, don't click that Fable button because you will burn your stuff to the ground. And
Probably
so
in probably in 4 words.
that's honestly, you know what I will say? That's honestly even if people on the normal plan are able to select it. They might not even be able to, if I'm being honest.
That's true.
Um, 4.0 will burn you 4.8 will burn you guys out too. So just be cognizant. We'll talk, like I said, we're gonna talk a little bit more about that later and as far as the different models. Um, while Chaz is talking about some things, I'm actually gonna pull up just some research and statistics for you guys just to give you like some more numbers, you know? And so um yeah, so tokens, be careful, gas, okay? And then we talked about using your computer, but when you use your computer, you need to build your filing system, okay? If you did not watch last week's episode, I highly suggest you go back and watch it. It's on the Elevare YouTube page. What's up, Chaz?
No, 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 I was just adjusting.
Oh, okay. I thought he was raising his hand. I was like, that's right. Put your hand down. And so, and so with that being said, if you didn't watch last week's episode, make sure you guys check it out because we did talk about how you can set up a filing system. You don't have to use ours. I did it live really quick just to give you guys an example. Um, Chaz, if you don't mind, later on I might pull up the one that you sent over for us to use. I think that'd be kind of cool to show them like how extensive it can get. Um, yeah.
Are you calling me a nerd?
No, no, I was impressed. I was looking at it with Terry and I was like, "Bruh, this is legit." Um, and so William Rochelle also said, "I do it 3 times a day. I am back up." All right, William. It might be time, my guy. It might be
Yeah,
time.
it's time. It's
Um
definitely time.
it's definitely time. But to Chris's point, there are peak hours. Okay, I will pull those up for you guys as well. It was interesting because when Anthropic first came out with peak hours, nobody knew what the hell they wore. They were just like, "Oh, peak hours," and all of us were like, "Bro, what does that even mean?" Because like, what if someone's on night shift? Maybe day shift is peak hours for them, or maybe night's peak hours for them. So, anyways, now they're actually published, and you burn more tokens during peak hours. What's up?
Data centers.
Data centers, hella data centers. Okay. Um, so that's where we left off last week. If you haven't watched it, that's where we are now. So in essence, we have set up like a filing system, right? One of the things that is really important, and it's funny because when I told Net we were going to talk about this, she was like, "Wait a minute, how do you do that?" For you guys that don't know, Net is my wife, and I finally had to force her to get on the AI because she kept battling, or not, sorry, not AI, Claude, because she was battling me like, "No, I'm cool with my little chat phone app," and I was like, "Nah, bruh, we got to take it to the max. And so now my wife and I literally battle over who's working on the desktop computer sometimes for our AIs. I thought I would never hear this in my life, but I walked out to our home office one time and she literally yelled, "Don't touch my bots." Never thought that would happen ever in my life, and it did. So chalk it up to the, what do they call, what's that thing they say now? That wasn't on my bingo card for the year. And so anyways, but Chaz is really good at giving his Claude instructions on how he wants it to operate within the confines of his company, of his when it comes to the voice, when it comes to the way that it brands his documents, all those things. And so I felt personally that that was a really good next step for you guys to learn. Once we are in Claude on our computer, we've got our filing system set up. The next thing is, well, if I wanted to do things for me, how do I streamline it as much as possible to know how I like things? And so you got like a little echo, bro.
Sounds like we got a little bit of interference there, Cam.
Yeah. Um so anyways, with that being said, it might be my echo. I don't know. But with that being said, Jazz, take him away, my friend.
What do you want me to talk about?
Huh?
What
I
did you want me
don't
to talk about? I
don't
couldn't hear you.
see, Chaz has ADHD like the rest of us, and so that was throwing him off. Um, so talk to them about how to build their brand message with inside their cloud, so that when they're creating these documents or they're working on tasks, like it it knows what they're working towards and knows how to operate within the confines of that.
Yeah, for sure. So, obviously, first and foremost, what you want to do is you want to set up you obviously have to set up a project folder, right? Again, Cam will tell you, he's probably mentioned 100 times. I'm really a big stickler on file management because a lot of files get created as you start working through this. It's very simple. First thing you're going to do. So there's 10 things that I consider when I'm building out a brand inside of Claude Code. And I'm speaking specifically for Claude Code on this one. So, one of the things, the first thing that I think about is like my brand guidelines. I think about like what kind of voice do I want it, what kind of color fonts, taglines, right? Never says things that I absolutely don't want to be said in any product that's produced, right? And that's typically kind of for your, your flyers and your proposals and posts and things of that nature, right? And so I'm very particular about what I want as a product that's produced, right? Then the next thing I think about is like my the asset pipeline, right? I think about, like slide decks, one pagers, PDF templates, email templates, logo placement, things of that nature, right? So that's the second thing. And I'm feeding all this in. I'm literally um creating a database and I'm creating these different file structures to house all these particular things, right? The third thing that I really focus on when I'm building that brand is obviously the automated brand review gates, right? And so what that is I set my agents that I've created on a loop to daily check to make sure that that my man, that's really bugging me. There you go. Great job. Hey, you guys, we got Cam to be quiet for a moment. Anyway, look at his face. Anyway, back to I'm a very firm believer in just like if you were working in an office building, you would want somebody to correct your work and check your work on a reoccurring basis. So that's kind of like the third thing and I automate that, right? I just set my agent on a loop. Literally, I just tell it, hey, I need you to check this every 24 hours, right? And so that's going to be checking for like, man, it's going to be checking for deliverables. It'll be checking to make sure that my copyright marks and everything are properly you know, advertised on whatever thing that I'm putting out. It talks about terminology and things of that nature, right? And then the next thing, and this here is the most important thing. Uh, hey, appreciate that. The next thing that I really think about, and this goes back to what we kind of talked about a little bit earlier. The fourth thing that I do when I'm building out my structure is I do what's called design token burn, right? So this is where I was talking about, Cam, where I use all four of the different models, because certain, if you put Fable 5 on a Word document, you're burning unnecessary tokens, right? So I really do think about that when I'm branding, right? Because I do a lot in co-work when it comes to creating branded material. I do a lot in co-work for branded stuff because I've taught my agents how to do that, right? All right. So after that, the next thing that I think about is um, multi-brand discipline, right? This is something that over the last like 5 or 6 months, Cam and I have been really like diving into, because as Cam mentioned, we've kind of started combining a lot of things. But before, we literally, what, Cam, I think it was total of 5 brands total
Yeah,
that
Forward
we
Learning
were.
Group, L3 Media, Frame Shaping, yeah, Terry, CCU. Is that my mic or is that what's going on?
Yeah, so we had multiple brands. So we had to make sure that the file structure, and we had to make sure the agents knew exactly where to put things. And that goes a little bit deeper, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we start getting into like GitHub resource and things like that, right? So that's the next thing. And so the next thing that I think about is content repurposing, right? I cannot stress that enough. Like, I don't need to burn unnecessary tokens, so I literally repurpose content. So if I create a document or a flyer or a file, you can easily have your through Claude Code, you can easily have your agent go repurpose that same thing and tell it to create a new file, right? Based on that old file. Or you can, if you no longer need that old file and you're not into archiving, like I hate archiving things, because I typically only use something once, but I can go back and I can repurpose it, and it'll take that same document and just redesign it for you, right? So I don't have to have the a gazillion files. Cam, that was for you, buddy. I don't have to have like these directories with hundreds of files in them, because that I'm never going to use again. And like I said, file management is an absolute must when you really start diving into working with these agents, right? And then the next thing that I really think about is version controlled brand voice, if that makes sense to you, right? That means really is like, when does your voice change, right? For the first few months that I started messing around with AI and everything, my brand voice was solely frame shaping, which is my business, right? But then I had to start teaching my agents to speak in multiple voices, right? So they'll each agent had a version, right? So I had multiple agents that did the same thing. And this is back in the beginning, before I learned how, hey, you know what? I can create one agent and just tell it to have multiple voices, right? And so, but I still am aware of that, and I still think about that. So, especially for individuals out there that work with multiple clients, right? If you're working with multiple clients, you absolutely want your agent to be able to speak to each one of those clients individually, right? And so that's what I mean when I talk about version controlled and brand voice, right? And the next second most important thing, so the first most important thing I was talking about earlier was the brand review, right? Now you want to have scheduled audits, right? So I have my agents to do audits, regular audits, right? To where they sweep my folders to make sure that there's nothing that's off brand, there's nothing that's, obsolete. My agents even know that if I don't use a file for 12 months that gets lost in the mix, it's going to throw it into an archive folder, which I hate when there's files in my archive folder because I hate archiving. I can do a backup and not have to archive things, right? And so I make sure that they'll throw a file in there, and then I'll get notified that, hey, there's some files in your archive folder that needs your approval for deletion or something like that, right? And so those are the kind of things that my scheduled brand audit does. And then the last thing that I do is literally just kind of like I wire my agents to utilize the different modes. You can literally tell your agents what, based on what your agents are responsible for doing. I wire them to where they utilize one of the specific models. So again, like I said, if I'm creating an email, if I'm having my executive assistant agent create an email, they are going to be wired to use Haiku, right? That's what they're going to use. So that's what I mean when I say I wire my agents to use a different mode so that they're not all operating on the same. And ultimately the idea is to make your tokens go as far as you can. And so that's why I do it. So Cam, that's what I got, man. That's pretty much how I put together my file system and how I run that architecture. I hope that wasn't too much.
Whoops. I was on mute. I said burn all the tokens to the ground, baby. I keep that shit Opus 4.8. Do I still sound weird?
Yeah, man, you sound weird. Or is that, yeah, I don't know. Is it me? Do I sound weird?
I mean, no, you don't sound weird on my end. I don't know. Do you like hear me, but there's like a little bit of an echo?
I hear you, and it sounds like R2D2 or C3PO talking.
Oh shit. I don't know. All right, hold on.
Hey, let me know in the chat. Do you guys hear that too, or is it just me? You know what? Did your Mac switch back to your default, the iMac speakers or mic? All right, while Cam's over there working on his technical issue, let me get a question from the chat group. Who's out there? Who's got a question out there for us that we can maybe answer for you while we wait on Cam. And by the way, you guys, no, Stephanie says she hears it as well. Thank you, Steph. Yep.
Oh, hold on. Cam. Of course, as soon as I did that, I switched my freaking headphones back. Damn, why does it keep doing that? All right, how about now?
Oh, yeah, that sounds a lot better.
That's so weird. All I did literally was go from Shure mic to default Shure mic. That's so stupid. All right, once again, yeah. What's Stephanie say? No, we hear it too. Oh, now it's back.
Yep, it's back again.
All right, hold on. Shady's back. 1 sec. Could you? Chaz, can you do like a live demonstration to like share your screen? Or could you show them what your stuff looks like?
Sure. I'll just show a little quick thing here. Let me get this here. All right. All right. Are you guys seeing my screen out there? So this here is kind of literally kind of how I have it. Look how clean and neat that is. I hope you guys can see that. Cam, can you see that?
No. Hey, does it still sound crazy?
Yeah, it's still sounding crazy.
Bro, what is going on? I can't see it though. You gotta share your screen.
Yeah, I'm sharing it. Let's
So
see if we
Stephanie
can.
said, okay, so go deeper into co-work versus code because I use co-work for nearly everything.
All right, I can do that. Let me get this here. All right, I'll come back to that. All right, here we go. All right, so co-work. Let's start with co-work. Talk a little bit about what it is, right? Like I said, let's I'm gonna speak from a business perspective right now, you guys. If you're using this for personal use, you can still use it. You can kind of pick up on some of the things. So co-work really is great for working within your business, right? And not just like talking about it or ask or communicating with your chat. It actually will allow you to read, write files, folders. It allows you to share, run multi-step tasks, which is a great thing, and it'll also finish complex documents and things of that nature, right? Some of the key features that you can actually do with co-work that you can't do with chat, right, is like giving an individual folder access, installing plugins and different skills, right? It really, it's really like I said before, it's the operator, right? It's who you delegate things to. You're able to do a lot of things in your business, like month end closeouts, invoice chasing, content calendars, things of that nature. So it really does dive into a lot of the operations within your business. And I personally, I know Cam don't like to hear me say this, is I personally would probably not use co-work when I'm creating, just, emails and flyers and things like that. Like I would probably just stick with chat because like I said, it's going to be a lot faster. Now what I will tell you when you're using chat versus co-work is you will probably have to provide more input because chat is going to do it very fast and it's not going to be as detailed if you're not detailed in your prompt engineering, right? So you may have to provide lots of input to it, um, but it's going to save you on your token burn, and at the end of the day you're going to have a just as good of a product. Right now, code on the other is, I mean, the name says it all, right? Claude Code is really I think in the vibing space, they call it the agentic coder, right? Meaning it's an agent that's in your computer, in your architecture that is literally going to write. It does everything in code. So if you remember back in the old days of HTML and Cobalt and all those different coding languages, as we used to call them, they do all that for you without you having to know those things, right? And it doesn't take you 100 years to write one single HTML file. It can do that same thing. So pretty much everything that happens in the Claude code is being done in actual. So if you ever do something in Claude code, and go behind it and look at the drop down file, which will have the dot extension MD, and you open it up, it will just be a big old garbled thing of mess, right? And you'll be able to read some of the words in there, but it's really just writing everything in old school code language. Claude Code is also really, really powerful and really great to use when you're talking about um, integrating into web applications. So, like connecting it to your Google Chrome or connecting to different web browsers to actually operate on its autonomously on its own just by you telling it. Now, your interaction with Claude Code is going to be plain English. You're just going to tell it exactly what you want to do. It's going to do all these things in code where it can completely drive your computer if you want it to, which is something that I like to do. I love to, but again, that's you're talking hecka code burn, um, token burn when you start doing those kind of things. And I wanted to throw this out there also, just in case any of you are thinking about jumping and going big time and going to the $200 max plan. Be very careful if you are using Fable 5 with API keys and everything. I learned this today. Thankfully, I hadn't went down the rabbit hole, but I learned this today that it if you have Fable 5 connected via API key, it will actually take over your system and run in the background. And it literally, I think so, I was in one of our chat groups today, they were talking about like it was like doing $10 it was like doing like $10 like codes on a repetitive basis.
I didn't even see that.
You didn't see that today? I was like, holy cow. It was like, yeah, man, it just took over and just started running stuff in the background. Um, that's kind of the power of this stuff, right? And again, I say that because the importance of that is make sure your file structure is on point, because that's what happened. It actually read a file that said do this, and it just went to work because that's what it does, right? So that's one of the things that you got to be. So that's another reason why I think it's definitely safer to use Cowork. Um, but honestly, like I said, you can play with all of them. Play with all of them. You utilize all of them. You know, they all work. They all work in tandem. Like I said, I have my agents wired to use. You know, no matter which, whether I'm in chat, co-work, or code, my agents are all wired to utilize the mode that's going to be most efficient and effective. You back with us, Cam?
I don't know. Is this so messed up?
It's still messed up, bro.
Bro, I don't know, man. Other than, I mean, the only other thing I could do is literally like restart my computer.
No, don't
Hold
you
on.
don't need to do that because we got viewers.
This,
Steph, did that help you any, or was that just like way out in left field?
how's this sound?
Yeah, you're still a little broken up, bro.
It must be my connection then. Can I like pop out and pop back in?
I think if you pop out, you're gonna kick me out
Yeah, you right.
because you hosting.
Oh, you guys just get Chaz tonight.
Hey, I don't know, man. I'm kind of nerding out.
Yeah. If you want, I can share my screen as far as like to show them how like they could use Claude to start working on their brand message, and then you could just kind of narrate through it.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
All right.
I aim to please. I aim to please. All right. All right. So y'all do know that I got to put on my glasses to read that. uh, how can I help you today? All
I'm
right.
trying to make it as big as I can.
All right. That's big enough. I can actually see that. All right, so the first thing he's doing, there we go. So that's the project folder that he created, right? So this is part of that file manager we talked about. So when he clicks on that, everything that he does now is going to work in that folder, right? It's going to ask if Cloud can change that folder. He's going to give it access and give it the right to actually change it. Oh, I was just reading over there. All right, appreciate you dropping by, man.
Yeah, for sure. Let's connect, bro. Do I still sound crazy?
Yeah, you still sound a little crazy.
Yeah, it's a connection thing then. I
So
used a different
now,
browser. Never do that again.
oh, you just man, you stop changing up what works. All right, so now everything that he does now, he's gonna just prompt it in plain English, and it's gonna work in that single folder. It's not gonna so you'll know if you're not in the right folder. So, like, say you're in here and you're working, you're jobbing and everything, and then you decide that you wanted to switch and go to co-work or chat, and you start asking it about this particular prompt that he's putting in now, it's not going to see it. It's not going to find it because this is in this particular folder. You'd have to tell your, well, you can't tell chat to go look in there, but you can definitely tell code and co-work to work in the same folder. I have some of my agents work simultaneously in the same folders as well. So yeah, you're literally going to just prompt it exactly what you want it to say. Um, So Cam is actually so Cam is doing his I like the way he does this sometimes. So he literally he can't work his audio for sure. Oh, I see what you just did. That's dope. So I forgot what I was saying, y'all.
Go look in
Cam.
the chat.
Well, I'm just trying to make sure that we aim to please. We want to make sure that we everybody. So now it's actually literally going to build out. So what Cam did is a little bit different than what I do. Cam actually asked it to prompt him, right? So basically, what it's going to do is it's going to go out and it's going to find all these great questions to ask Cam, and it's going to literally give Cam a prompt. It's going to prompt Cam and say, hey, who, like, there on the screen is like who you serve, right? So I do mine a little bit different. I'm a huge job description guy, and because I typically work solely with my agents, um I literally assign job descriptions. But as you can see here, it completely built out, right, a 6-step framework that now Cam has all these questions. Once he answers all these questions and put it back in there, then it will build this thing out.
And use talk to text, y'all.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So if I don't I'm trying to see. I don't see it. Do you have the oh, so I don't see the little microphone because I got some boxes in the way. Oh, you don't. So yeah, Cam uses whisper flow. I started using the voice that's inside of Claude. It's Claude voice. It's a little, it's not, it's a little buggy and everything, but Cam does that Tony Stark stuff. So Cam's got all these different apps that's connected to it, and he just talks to the app like walking down the street, talking to his apps, and it just starts working. Like I don't do that. That's too nerdy for me. Oh man,
If
it's
you
just
so what's the difference between what I did and what you would have done starting out with this?
so the first thing is I see where you said I want you to ask any questions you need to build a comprehensive file on my brand. So I personally, when I go in and I talk about my branding and everything, I literally kind of tell it, the who, what, why, when, and where, right? I tell it about, hey, here's my personality, here's what I want my business to do. So I literally give it the input to build. And I don't think there's no right or wrong way. I think it's just whatever you're comfortable with, right? This here. Um, I like the way you do it as well because it it probably touches on some things that I don't have that creative mind, and so it's going to prompt me with some questions to be able to think about and everything to then I can feed into. So as you've heard us say in the past, right, prompt engineering is literally one of the most important traits or skills that you need to learn while you're when you're messing around with this here. And I do think that somewhere in the future, I think Cam and I had it on the schedule that we are actually going to do a segment on prompt engineering, right? And again, these are the way we do it. Cam hit the nail on the head last week when he said, "Pull out your computer and play with it." As you can see, it's super simple, plain English. That's all you have to do. You just have to tell it what you want. Um, let's see what else. What else? What else you got, Cam? What else? What else do the people want to hear?
I'm so scared to talk.
Just type it in the chat. Oh, he's about to go Tony Stark on us. Oh man, this is amazing. I love it. Cam silenced. So you know what I would like to just talk a little bit about since Cam can't block me, I can just do it anyway. Um so I do want to talk a little bit about because our intent is to really reach small to medium sized businesses and how they can actually um, apply what we're talking about here in their business, right? And so I have this little cheat sheet. Let me see if I can find it here. That kind of breaks down some of the usage, like small to medium sized business usage for each of the models that I think is super helpful. I might actually even I may actually drop this in the community as well because I think this document is pretty dope. Um,
How about now?
no, you're still you, you might want to just go to your Apple microphone.
I don't have one. It's on my studio.
Uh, all right, so I'm gonna start with Haiku. Haiku 4.5, right? Some of the benefits to using that in your small to medium sized business, right? It is great if you have customer support chat bots, if you sell tickets, or like frequently asked questions automation, right? It's really good for that. It's good for lead scoring and data classification. It's good for tagging and it's good for inbox routing, right? So if you wanted to uh, read the emails in your inbox, it's really good for that. Really good with real time high frequency tasks. And what I mean by that is there's like SMS. If you wanted to build out like an SMS automated text chain or a text sequence, if you would, it's really good for doing quick tasks like that. And again, ultimately, you're going to save a lot of tokens if you're using Haiku versus one of the, especially Opus. Opus will burn them, like Cam said. Opus will burn them pretty quick too. So Haiku is really good for those kind of tasks, right? And so when you get on to Sonnet 5, it's really your daily driver, right? That's probably where you get the most usage out of. It's good for marketing copy. It's good for sales assets. It's good for social calendars. It's good for creating proposals and contracts, right? um it has a little bit of the strength that Opus and Fable has, but a lot quicker. And it also, again, lower token burn, right? It's good for like. So here's something that's also cool about it. So like, if you're using Claude Code, under the Sonnet model. It is great for, like, say you have an established website and you have it connected via MCP, and you want to you have little small tweaks that you need done to it. It's going to save you tokens if you use Sonnet to do that, because Sonnet is really good at small tweaks to automation scripts, small generating reports. Right. If you wanted, we talked about doing those audits and things like that. It's really good at picking up, doing those tasks very quickly for you. Cam, how are we on time, man? Oh man. Okay, you guys. So
Let's wind it down.
what's that? He's typing in the chat, y'all. So I'm gonna save that, save my spot right there. Hey, he was there, wind it down. I'm gonna save my spot there. I will pick this back up next week, and I will finish out the other two before we go into whatever we're doing next week, just to kind of give you a basic knowledge, because I do think that you have to really get good at knowing what model you're going to use as you're doing some of these tasks. Again, and this is all so that you can stay. Yeah, we'll do the live demonstration and everything next week. So, with that, I am going to go ahead and tell you, please, 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 don't forget Elevare Global. Cam's probably, you're muted. Oh, he's talking to text over there. Absolutely, absolutely, and of course, spread the word. Let them know that we're here. Let them know that what we're doing. Let them know that every week we're going to get a little bit more advanced until it's above my head and above Cam's head, and then we're gonna start bringing in some heavy hitters. We can bring in some heavy hitters to nerd out with us, do a little bit of vibing, and hopefully add a little bit of value to each and every one of you. So with that, Cam, I'm good on this side, buddy. I don't know if you want to try to say goodbye to the good people, but hey, please tune in next week. That's all I got, Cam. Cam's over there talking to text, y'all. Oh, look, he done threw the flyer up there for you. All right, y'all. So y'all see that flyer? You'll see that flyer coming out. Oh, that flyer is beautiful. I wonder whose agent did that. uh, all right, you guys. Hey, thanks for being here. Thanks for the interactions. One love to y'all, and we'll see you guys next week.